out of the team for termination while
FA Cup champions.
After Sri Lanka's disappointing run in the recently concluded 3x3 Asia Cup 2018, ThePapare.com met with Chandana Liyanage, Vice President of Sri Lanka Basketball Federation, who is also heading the 3x3 aspect for the Federation, as to how the future of the sport will take shape in the country.
We were in the qualifying rounds, but we couldn't perform, and unfortunately boys they lost to South Korea, and had that been won, we could have had a chance to come up. I think they have ended up somewhere like 16th or some play. I can't remember exact slot, but they won only 2 matches. Girls they won only 1 match. But if you look at last year, the same Asia Cup, we were qualified straight away, and we couldn't win a single match. So in that sense, I think our boys and girls they performed well. But of course, if you really looked at the Asian format, there are about 44 countries, and now New Zealand and Australia also included into Asia. So it's very tough. Like all the powerhouse of basketball is in Asia, all the Central Asian region, and South Korea, Japan, China, and coming Australia and New Zealand. It's a tough call, but I think yes, we could have done better. We haven't had good tournaments, backup tournaments. Of course, we had only one tournament to get the players selected, and thereafter there was a not, I would say, a very methodical practice sessions. So having said that, it's very tough call, but we could have done better. That question, I would like to have some idea about how this federation ranking is coming up. You all know that 3x3 is a newer version, and of course it has started way back in 2008. Fortunately, I was there in the Basketball Federation as one of the committee members to launch this project, and since then we have come a long way. 2010 you had Youth Olympic Games, 2014 you had Youth Olympic Games, but we have never selected. But this time we are through with only with girls team, under 18 girls team. Why? Because we have had a lot of tournaments, we have had a lot of focus for that age category. So the federation rank the 3x3 ranking has under 18, under 23 men and women, and nationals men and women, or the standard men and women. So those 3 categories, each federation needs to do separate tournaments and come up. If you look at the Sri Lankan rankings for under 18 men, we are at world ranking at 45, but zonal ranking we are 14. If you look at under 18 women, Sri Lanka rank in the world ranking as 11, and zonal ranking as number 2. Under 23 men, Sri Lanka in the world ranking 30th place, but zonal ranking 8th. And under 23 women, Sri Lanka in the world ranking at 15th, zonal ranking 5th place. So men, Sri Lanka is on world ranking list at 46th place, women in 22nd place, but zonal ranking we are in 10 and 8. So if you look at the Asia zone, Sri Lanka is doing well, but it's not enough. It's not enough. That's the problem. But when we came to these holding positions in federation last year, we wanted to develop this 3x3 project to Youth Olympic Games. So that, I mean, we had a lot of background work. If you look at India, if you look at regional countries like Singapore and like China, Japan, and they were China, Japan, they were really pushing all the aspects. But if you look at some of the bigger countries or giants, they couldn't enter into this Youth Olympic Games. So we had a plan. We actually now selected 32 players. So it will be coming on papers in very soon. So then we have a plan for them. So like that, this time what we focused is Youth Olympic Games. But yes, I accept the fact, yes, by doing that, we have forgotten or we have foregone certain other tournaments. This particular age category, under 18, we have had an MOU with Achievers Business School, and we are in partner with them, and we have had we developed a project program, and we want to get this education plus studies plus athletics together. So we are actually focusing for corporate athletes concept in that. So what we did, we developed a methodology to have tournaments for under 18 men and women throughout the year, and they will have major tournaments twice a year, biannual, right? So we had one session, and during that session, that tournament, we have selected 32 players. So 32 boys, 32 girls. Now we have scheduled them to prune down into 24 players by end of 24th July. We are planning to have 3 tours within the country, and then we will prune down the 32 players into 24, and then they are going to have a drafting night, and then they will divided those 24 into another 3 teams, right? So those 3 teams then again will fight another tournament, and then that will reduce to 4 plus 4 standby. That's the plan. So by end of July, by end of July 31st, that we know for sure that these are the 4 names, the 4 players who are going to take part in the Youth Olympic Games.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා රග්බි පිටියේ සතිපතා සිද්ධ වෙන දේවල් දැනගන්න කැමතිද?
රග්බි පිටිය සෑම අඟහරුවාදා දිනකම ඔබ වෙත.
That's a very good question, Lilum. Yes, I would say finance, and at the same time it's logistics. So it's not an easy task. Like as I explained previously, we have to maintain 6 different pools for 3x3 format, and the standard format another 6 pools. But right now we manage haphazardly. I accept the fact we manage haphazardly. There are many reasons if you look at them. I mean, very recently we have had our basketball convention where we did our SWOT analysis, and we found out the politicization and at the same time you need the level of professionalism. So those are the two extreme corners that we are at one point of time or the other we are at. But what we want to have is a middle path. So I would say yes, finance is a major drawback, but at the same time logistics, like we need to have our own office setup. We need to have volunteers who actually can come and do the work, and we need to have a proper strategy, long-term strategy, which I am very happy that at least right now we have 2025 project plan. So yeah, that's the I think the answer for your question. Good results in Youth Olympic Games, and by looking at, I mean, I'm not the expert to comment on the players, but what I have heard from the basketball fraternity, that there is a good potential or good players who could be developed into competitive levels. So basically we wanted to have, right now we have MOU with Achievers for 3x3 under 18 format. So that is for next 3 years, and we have another under 23 MOU for under 23 players with Lanka Basketball Club for another 3 years. So like that, we are looking at another MOU for the men and women for national level. So when we have that, then I think we should be able to have more tournaments. So 3x3 is nothing but more number of tournaments, more exposure, and we wanted to get the SABA, that is the Asian sub-zone tournaments here. So we are planning to have annual tournaments with sub-zones. Sub-zones we have Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, Maldives, Nepal and Bhutan, if not mistaken, yeah, and Bangladesh and us. So we wanted to have that tournament. So annually we will have that tournament, and at the same time, since we are in partner with this 3x3 under 23 tournament, so they wanted to have another stop here in Sri Lanka. So we'll have at least 2 foreign tournaments for 3x3 in Sri Lanka. So that's a plan that we want to drive.